Since my last video a few days ago, we have had a spectacular conjunction of Mars and Uranus in the 8th gate, the gate of holding together. And it has given us a revolutionary push for the formation of new alliances on completely new grounds. The shocking assassination attempt on Trump, which occurred right at the exact conjunction of Uranus and Mars, had led many to believe that Trump may indeed become the next president of the USA. President Biden had dropped out the race and Kamala Harris has replaced him. So we are observing as numerous forces, governments of different countries and different politicians, they have rapidly begun reorienting their policies to prepare for a new world, a world where America will be different. I would like to remind you that in the program of 2024, Neptune was in the 36th gate, 4th line, which is about preparing for an upcoming crisis. And this preparation was already underway, but the conjunction of Uranus and Mars brought this powerful shake-up. And now this train cannot be stopped. Trump's role is strongly highlighted in the chart of the Rave New Year for 2025. This chart features a manifested channel 3536, and Trump carries this channel in his body graph. This channel endows him with an ability to be a powerful driver of change. So changes in 2025 are inevitable. The entire first half of 2024 was a kind of a prelude to them, to these changes, and these very changes are starting now. On July 17th, Jupiter, the planet that embodies the law and mandatory execution of this law, the planet that expands any energy it travels through. So this planet enters gate 35, the gate of change. The hexagram is called progress. So the theme of progress and change is going to be very prominent while Jupiter is there in this gate 35. Will be conditioned by this desire for progress and change. What I strive to do is to show you how current transits lead us to the change of the global cycles in 2027. When speaking on a collective level, how does this Jupiter transit fits into this global program, into this bigger process of transformation on the way to 2027? Well, it's important to understand that what we are currently observing is the collapse of old systems. Collective life support systems are designed to fail as we approach the cross of the sleeping phoenix in 2027. And now we see these frantic attempts to hold on while the global frequency brings the wind of change. And of course, the systems that have been built over centuries do not collapse quickly over the night, but the closer we get to 2027, the less global frequency supports their existence. There will come a moment when they will all collapse like a house of cards. And I suspect that to some extent, this will happen in 2025 when Pluto enters the 41st gate at the end of January in 2025, which will give us a start of a new cycle. But at this moment, Pluto has spent several years moving through the 60th gate, the gate of limitation, surfacing all limitations, everything that is not working and that has outlived itself, which prevents further progress. But at some point, the pressure becomes too strong and the breakthrough occurs. like a river dam breaking. And in this stream of change, all the old is finally swept away. But this will happen most probably starting 2025. But returning into the present moment, we will now observe the first wave of these changes. This will be rapid changes as Jupiter literally races through all the lines of the gate 35. Jupiter will stay in this gate from the 17th of July till the 16th of August, so precisely 1 month. Externally, this period is likely to be accompanied by various events. And frankly speaking, we have already seen a lot since the 17th of July, right? But I want to talk now about the internal changes that people may experience being conditioned by Jupiter now, because it is very, very important. And I'm inviting you to reflect on what's happening in people's psyches right now. And of course, I don't claim this applies to everyone, as we are all very individual, but I'm speaking about the general psychological state at the moment. I would say that it seems like we are all balancing on the edge, being afraid to take a step into a new life. We still hope that we can go back where everything was clear, predictable, and much more comfortable. It seems like we are hoping for something, I don't know, divine intervention, some luck, a miracle. And we are all in some kind of crisis. The world is in crisis. We were immersed into this crisis by Neptune, which moved through the 36th gate of crisis from March 2022, exactly when the war in Ukraine began. This gate 36 is about emotions. It's a collective gate, so meaning it's about experiencing the full spectrum of feelings and emotions together with others, sharing those feelings. It is crisis of going through new experiences, new situations we've never experienced before. And we are caught by this turbulent stream, not seeing where it's taken us. The light dims, and it seems like there will be no end to this. But if you look at the human design body graph, and if you look at where gate 35 look at, it looks at gate 36, the gate of change. This is the gate of the throat center. And now with Jupiter in this gate 35, all the feelings, all the emotions, all the crises we carry within ourselves will get the way out. This is the expression of the feelings, the release moment. So both gates, gate 36 and 35, are part of a stream in our body graph that is about empirical experience of humanity. And this experience is cyclical. This means that every cycle ends sooner or later. And when it ends, we go through this crisis because there is a feeling that the old is going away, but the new hasn't arrived yet. But then the change happens. Gate 35 say, I feel it's time for a change. And this is hope, the hope for progress and change. But it also leads to pain, because when something goes away, it's painful, right? As Raoul Hu said, these are the gates of the wheel turning. So the wheel of our civilization is turning now, and we're all in this emotional turbulence, and we all hope for some change, and we expect something from these changes. And we'll see how this will manifest, how this will be rolled out in the events in our life. It's important to understand the essence of the energy of change. And to do that, we need to look at the first line of gate 35. It is called, it's very interesting, it is called humility. Humility. And the subtitle to this gate reads, "The ability to accept rejection." So this is about life being cyclical, and what it brings often doesn't correspond to what we expect or what we wish for. That's why we need to learn humility to accept this rejection, to be able to embrace the change. In the exaltation of this line, there is a phrase, "the artist accepting rejection as part of the process." I love this line. It speaks about an artist. This line speaks about a human being that can become an artist of their own life. And it basically says that life is an art. It is an unpredictable and creative process. And if a person is under this illusion that they control something like, I don't know, circumstances or their own feelings, that they can hold their old feelings, then they fall into this dangerous illusion that destroys their own life. Because the detriment of this first line reads, "self-destructive reaction to rejection, loss of worth." You see, the only constant thing in our life is change. And resisting change takes a lot of energy, of course. It leads to emotional burnout, it leads to mental and physical exhaustion. It's like rowing against the current of life itself. And this is the foundation that is important to understand, because changes, if they are meant to happen, will happen anyway. And it's better if a person is aligned with this process, accepts it, moves with its flow, acknowledges their feelings, accepts them, sees the changes and embraces them. Because resistance, unwillingness to face the truth, unwillingness to see these changes both inside and outside, clinging to the old and familiar, all this only adds pain to the process. We live in those times when changes cannot be stopped. Life cannot be stopped. So isn't it better to face them with dignity? This is an internal process, first of all. And here your personal design matters. If you are a person with a defined emotional center, it is important that you know your emotionality. Acknowledge your own feelings and emotions. See how your waves go up and down, from hope to pain and back. Love your wave and trust it, because your feelings matter. Your feelings tell you a lot, but for you, there is no truth in the moment. You need to wait. You need to wait for emotional clarity. And once you achieve it, you will know what changes you need to make and when you need to make those changes. And there is another important thing here. You are the people who create the emotional background in the world. If you do not wait, if you act on immediate, unprocessed emotions, you bring chaos into this world. You bring emotional chaos into this world. And unfortunately, this is what we are observing. So a lot depends on your correctness. The more correct you are in living out your emotions, the less emotional chaos there is in the world. And if you have an open emotional center, you take in the emotional field around you and you amplify it. So you risk getting completely lost in it, drowning in these waves, emotional waves, which are everywhere around you. And in your not self, you strive to avoid confrontation with this at all costs, and you want to avoid the pain, including that associated with the old passing away from your life. But as a result, you avoid the truth that everything is changing. You may deny the change. You may try to bury your head in the sand or try to rationalize or try and hiding behind some concepts, which is essentially the same, the avoidance. Or alternatively, you might decide that the best defense is offense, and you might try to throw yourself into this emotional turmoil, and it will overwhelm you, and you will even more amplify the wave. You are hiding behind the collective emotions, the emotions of people around you who tell you what you should be feeling. This is how you may avoid looking deep within yourself, admitting what you really feel and what has changed within you, and accept this rejection with worth and with dignity. Ultimately, we have no choice. Jupiter will pass through all the lines of this gate 35, the gate of change and progress, in a month. And on the 11th of July, it will reach the 6th line of this gate. And it says that the changes will happen one way or another, and we will come there. If your feelings were genuine, then the changes will be progressive for you. If you admitted your changes, they will be progressive for you. This doesn't mean that your mind will necessarily like the changes, but they will be what's correct for you. These changes will make sense for you. You will ultimately gain something, because after the gate 35, Jupiter will enter the gate 45, which says, I have. So it is important to let the old go, accept this rejection in order to gain something, so that in some period of time you could say, yes, I have this and that now, and this is mine, and this is correct for me. But if you resist it, the universe might confront you with changes very harshly, and the changes might be destructive for you. Instead of voluntarily letting go of something from the past, you might feel like something has been taken from you, like you have been forced to do something. Well, in any case, the only support is always your strategy and authority, your knowledge of your nature, knowing your not self themes and relying on what's stable and constant in you, your own energy resource. And I would like to say that it feels like we are at a time when we are taking an exam on our alignment with life, when every decision must be impeccable in terms of your alignment with your true nature, with your true self. The time when someone could tell you what to do and you could truly rely on it is over. This time is over. Raoul Rufus used to say that as we approach 2027, external authorities will lose their power. We are heading into this era of the sleeping phoenix, this era of the spirit of the 55th gate. And the spirit is within. The abundance is within. And abundance is only a matter of the spirit. Strengthen your nature. And this doesn't actually mean using willpower to do what you think you should do. That's not what this is all about at all. It's important that this message is understood correctly. It's about aligning your decisions and actions with your nature, with your true nature. In Vedic culture, this is called following your dharma, your purpose, your spirit. Human design is a system that helps you reconnect with your true nature, reconnect with your spirits. It's a logical, it's practical system that allows you to align with your life trajectory so that you live yourself truly in your abundant spirit. If you want to know about your human design, you can book a reading with me. Please feel free to connect with me by email or on Facebook and Instagram. All my contacts are in the description below this video, and subscribe to this channel to stay tuned to the weather forecast through the lens of human design. And I wish you progressive changes in your life.